Welcome back to Rallyslide, a channel dedicated to the WRC. I'm Gal, a longtime fan of the sport, and today we'll talk about the main differences between the Rally1 cars and the WRC Plus generations cars. So what are the main differences between two of the current and former eras of the sport? Let's take a look at the main differences. At first, let's talk about the generations of cars which is called WRC Plus. The WRC Plus cars were introduced back in 2017 in an effort to make the cars more exciting. Some of the rule changes meant that the engine had a larger turbo restrictor and was enlarged from 33 for the previous generations of cars to 36mm, which led to a lot more power from the cars. The active center differential was reintroduced to the sport, which made the cars faster throughout corners and easier to set up. There were aerodynamic aids and a reduce in weight by 10 kg to a minimum weight of 1,190 kg. Special lighter materials were allowed to be in use as well, and the suspension of the cars, along with other parts, was also modified. The cars were some of the fastest the sport ever knew, and the speeds they took through the corners were mesmerizing. The cars were in use until the end of the 2021 season, when they were replaced by the new Rally1 regulations that put an end to the 25 years of the World Rally car era. So what are the Rally1 cars? The Rally1 cars are the first ever hybrid rally cars in the World Rally Championship era. They include the same 1.6-liter engine from the WRC Plus era, albeit with simplified parts. Beyond the petrol engine, there is also an additional hybrid unit, which adds 130 brake horsepower of boost at times. In a similar way to F1, the battery is recharged when the drivers brake or lifts off the accelerator. Because of the hybrid system, the cars are heavier, with a minimum weight at 1,260 kg, and in an effort to save costs, they are simplified in comparison to the former generation of rally cars. While the WRC Plus cars had a 6-speed paddle shift gearbox, the Rally1 cars only have a manual sequential 5-speed gearbox with a normal gear shifter, in a more similar way to the lower categories Rally2 cars. They also have less aerodynamic parts, and the active center diff was removed. Despite that, the Rally1 cars cost around 30% more than the WRC Plus cars, primarily because of the hybrid system. The cars are also required to use synthetic fuel, and also have suspension with less travel. So how are they different to drive? While the WRC Plus cars were among the wildest to drive and it made drivers push new boundaries, the Rally1 cars are driven with more care. The Rally1 cars are nowhere near as agile as their predecessors, and their driving is a lot neater, although that in slow corners the Rally1 cars are needed to be thrown a bit more at times, as they are both heavier and have less aerodynamics, which makes the cars less stable at high speed and less maneuverable. However, this is for gravel and snow mainly, and on tarmac they appear to be pretty similar and even faster. Despite that, thanks to their power, the Rally1 cars managed to both match and better the speed of the WRC Plus cars. The Rally1 cars as a result are just as spectacular to watch, and amazingly, apart from when they are in fully electric mode, they are much louder than the WRC Plus cars, especially on the start line, when they have around 500 brake horsepower with the combustion engine and the electric motor combined. To conclude, both generations of cars are amazing in their way. The WRC Plus cars were some of the biggest monsters the sport had ever seen, with some incredible aero and very high speed that brought the World Rally car era to a worthy end. The Rally1 cars are the future, and they showed that the rallying world, which includes electricity, doesn't have to be boring, as the Rally1 cars have a close figure of part to the Group B era, and an amazing sound. In short, these are the main differences between the latest eras of cars in the WRC. If you would like to know more things about the history or cars of the sport, write what you would like to hear about in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more content regarding the WRC. Stay tuned, and goodbye.